everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Erica, and today's video is part 3 of the budgeting series, which is cash envelopes. Today I will be stuffing my cash envelopes for my paycheck of my first paycheck of the month, and so we're going to be doing that today. But before I get into stuffing my cash envelopes, I kind of want to go over what cash envelopes are versus sinking funds versus emergency funds. I know a lot of people tend to use them interchangeably, but they are 3 different concepts. With your cash envelopes are expenses that occur frequently, and you set a certain dollar amount to each of those expenses. This allows you to be able to spend whatever you have designated to that expense. So the idea is you put a certain dollar amount to it, and you can only use what is in that envelope for that expense, which is great because if you have it, you can spend it. And if you don't, the concept is to not use anything else to pay for that expense. Only use what you have designated to that expense. Now, sinking funds is an expense that you know is going to happen. However, it does not happen as often. It usually happens maybe once a year. For example, that could be if you're saving for your Christmas, or if you have a car for your car maintenance, if you have a home for your home maintenance, if you have insurances like car insurance or renter's insurance, where you're paying those once a year, that will be those type of funds. Whereas an emergency fund is strictly for emergencies only. And that is something as far as if your health went for a turn and you had medical bills that you had not planned to incur and you need to pay those, or if you lost your job. And so the idea for your emergency fund is to have it as an emergency only, and usually 3 to 6 months of your living expenses into that account. And so now that I have explained a little bit about that, because I know people can get confused on what the difference is, or they think that they're the same things. And I just want to explain that they're not. They're 3 different concepts. Also, as we go forward, I just want people to be reminded that if you're watching other videos, to use other people's videos as encouragement and motivation, but not so much as a gauge on how successful you are in your financial journey or not, because everyone's financial journey is going to be different. Everyone's journey is unique to them. So when you're watching other videos, if you find that they have a lot of money that they're putting into their cash envelopes, and you find that when you're starting this journey you don't, that's perfectly fine. You want to start your journey and embrace what you have to start with. Everyone has different goals, or they have different living situations. For example, a person might have more to put in their cash envelopes because maybe they don't have a mortgage, or they don't have rent at this time. So therefore, they're gonna have more money to be able to allocate to different expenses. So again, if you're watching different videos, or you hear people saying about how much money they have, don't use that as a comparison to how well you're doing or not. You start your journey with what you have. And if you start off and you find that your cash envelopes only have $5 that you're able to put into them, that's perfectly fine. We all have to start somewhere. So the hardest part is just starting. So I just encourage you to just take that step to start if you have it, and then embrace your journey as you go along. You're gonna make mistakes, you're gonna have slip-ups, but the key thing is to start. So now that that's out the way, I am going to just jump right into stuffing my cash envelopes. And how I do mine, if you watch my first video, I talk about due dates, and I talk about knowing which expenses you're going to be paying from which check. And I will leave the link in the description if you have not watched that video. And if what I'm saying today does not make sense, you may want to refer back to that video and then come back and watch this video. So with my cash envelopes, I already know which expenses and how much I'm going to be able to pay with from each paycheck. So for this paycheck, I am going to be doing a total of $245 into my cash envelopes. And when I do my cash envelopes, I like to use this nice little binder, and I've decorated it to keep me motivated. I like to use this binder because it has different pouches and I'm able to label them according to my expenses. I also like the fact that in the back, it has a part where I can put coupons in here, or if I have gift cards in here. And then it also has a slot if you need to have anything else right here, as well as some slots in the front, like if you were to have maybe a store discount. So if you go grocery shopping and you use your store discount card, you can put them in here. So I like to use this also because once I put the amount of cash into each of these envelopes, I have them with me. So I have them available to be able to use at any given moment. And then that also eliminates me using my debit card. So that way I'm staying in budget and I'm using strictly what is in that envelope. So if I'm at date night and there's something that is out of range of what I put in here, I know that I need to cut back on something. So that is the idea, is to only use what you have available in here. And so when I'm getting started, and I have $50 that I'm going to be putting into date night. And now normally I only put $25 into this, but next week is going to be ladies night and we're actually going to go out to dinner. So I increased it to $50. And actually during this pandemic, I really haven't had to go anywhere. So this will be nice because this will be the first time of actually kind of going out. And also as I'm going through, you will notice that all my envelopes are zero, and that is because I'm starting new for the year. So the next one is personal care, and I'm putting $30 into here. I find that is enough because again, I haven't been able to really go out and do anything. And a lot of things that I used to do, like my nails and stuff like that, I really haven't been doing just because I've been using press-on nails, but with my workout, I can't really use or have nails on. It's just not very convenient to have those on. So I don't need to have as much in personal care anymore, which is kind of good. Fitness, again, with this, I go to a studio and the studio is closed, so I do not need to put anything in there from this paycheck anyhow. And the next one is gasoline, and I'm going to put $50 in there. I haven't really been driving anywhere except to work and back home, so there probably is going to be money left over by the next time I go to do this. Next one is gifts, and I'm not putting anything in this one because the last paycheck I actually put money into here, and so I used it to buy a baby shower gift that I will be attending actually tomorrow. Next one is groceries. I normally put $100 in here, but I already spent $70 at the grocery store, so the remaining would be $30. And again, this is according to this paycheck, so that is what I have left available. Next is medical, and I like to use this one because if I have co-payments like my dental, or if I have an emergency and I need to go to the emergency room, that's $25. So I like to add at least $5 each paycheck into this one. Takeout is $25. I've tried to cut back on how much we eat out, so I'm just gonna put 25 into there. Next one is toiletries, and I'm gonna put 25 into there. And the next one is Ty, and that is my son, and he is only getting $20 because the only thing he really gets done is his haircut, and because of the pandemic, he really hasn't cared too much about getting his haircut, and everything else that he had asked for or needed we got for Christmas, so $20 should be more than enough. And then I actually keep with my cash envelopes my water, trash, and sewer. I know a lot of people like to put that in a sinking fund, but for me, water, trash, and sewer needs to be paid every 3 months, so that's a lot of going in and out, and I just like to keep it in my cash envelope. There's nothing in there now because I actually had to pay for that, so next check I'll actually put more money into it so that way it can build it up again. So I like to keep my water, trash, and sewer into a cash envelope instead of a sinking fund. I keep my sinking funds into a checking. I have an account where it's a virtual wallet, and I actually have one that's the checking part, two, which is a short term, and that's where I keep my sinking funds, because even though it's not a lot of interest, by me keeping my sinking fund money into the account, at least is earning a little bit of money on top of it sitting there, since I don't really use them. Again, sinking funds are usually something that happens once a year, so I like to have my money sitting in an account. And then I have the third part to the virtual wallet, which is for long term, and that's where the emergency fund is. So when I am doing my budget, I like to keep my sinking funds and my emergency funds into a bank account, because I automatically have those deducted from my paycheck, so I don't see them at all, so I'm not missing the money at all, and I know that I'm paying myself first. So that is a benefit of having your sinking funds and your emergency funds automatically deducted from your paycheck before you even get it directly deposited into your bank account. And so I'll talk about that a little bit more when I do the next video about how I do my sinking funds. So yeah, so nothing in water and trash in there. And then I actually have a Panera bread coupon in here, or gift card in here, because I got that for Christmas. So again, this is just nice. So you already have it out and about with you, and you eliminate the temptation of spending more than what you have. At the end here, you'll notice I have pocket money, and that says $10, and that's just what I keep in my wallet in case there's something that I need to buy. Maybe while I'm at work, if I want to do a coffee or something at the store, I just try to keep it very minimum, but again, having a little cash on me in case there is something that I need to purchase. So that wraps up stuffing my cash envelopes. So yeah, so this is, again, you know, the amounts that I put for this paycheck. Next paycheck, I might have these amounts more or less depending on what I needed, and depending on how much I have available. So if you found this video helpful, I ask that you give me a thumbs up, hit subscribe and the notification button, so that way you can join me on my venture for my next video, which will be part 4. Thank you for watching, and see you soon. Bye.